Hi, welcome to my kitchen. I'm so glad you're here to join me. I have a fantastic recipe for a pork tenderloin with seared strawberries that I think you're going to love because I'm using a secret ingredient today. It's just going to be wonderful. We're going to start off with a pork tenderloin that we've trimmed really nicely. You want to be sure you get rid of all that membrane on there, the silver stuff, so that you'll have a really nice tender piece of pork. And I'm going to heat a little bit of oil. I'm using a pecan oil today just because it has a really nice high smoke point. We'll get that going. And we want that oil to get really hot where it has a little bit of a shimmer, and we want to hear a sizzle when we put the pork in, so we're going to let it get hot while we season the pork tenderloin. I'm going to season it with a bit of kosher salt and freshly ground black pepper. And we'll season both sides. I'll give it a little flip. We'll get the other side. A little salt, a little bit more pepper. I'm also going to give it a little sprinkle of fresh rosemary. Fresh chopped rosemary leaves are wonderful on this, really a nice flavor. And when I put it in my pan, I'll give it another little sprinkle on the other side. Now we want our oil to be really nice and hot. We want it to kind of shimmer in the pan, so I think we're almost getting there. And when you put that pork tenderloin into that oil, it's very important that where you place it, you need to leave it there. You'll disturb the sear if you move it, so we want to start cooking immediately and then leave it alone. It will release when it is ready, so you can turn it and brown all sides. All right, I think we're ready to go. Beautiful. I'll give it another sprinkle of rosemary on top. And we're going to let this brown. We're going to sear each side, and so we may have to turn it a few times, but we want to get it nice and brown, and then I'm going to finish it in the oven. All right, we'll see if it's ready to turn. You know, the pork tenderloin will release from the bottom of the pan when it is ready. If you have to pull and tug, it's not ready. And it's not ready. Almost. Be patient. So we'll turn it over. Oh, this looks gorgeous. Oh, perfect color on our pork tenderloin. This is beautiful. It'll get a little darker when we roast it in the oven. We're going to put it into a preheated 375-degree oven for about 20 minutes. All you need is for it to still have a little bit of pink in the center, and it's beautiful. It's perfectly safe to eat, but delicious. We'll put it into the oven. Wonderful. Okay, in for about 20 minutes. Now, while our pork is roasting, I'll go ahead and sear our strawberries. This is kind of fun. And this time I'm using a non-stick skillet. And I'm going to put just a touch of oil in it. Even though it's non-stick, I'm going to put just a touch of oil in, and I'll rub it around with a paper towel just to lightly coat it. And I have gorgeous big strawberries, and so this is a perfect use for those oversized strawberries. You know, if you'll take them, slice them thickly, and then we'll just put them into the pan to sear. We'll get them nice and browned. So just about a minute, and then we'll give them a little flip. Searing the strawberries brings out a nice caramelization of their natural sugars, and this is a beautiful addition to our pork tenderloin. Because you know, I have a secret ingredient I'm going to share with you today that I'm going to put in the sauce that's going to go with our pork. We'll let these cook. I'm going to use today a wonderful product. It is from Honey Ridge Farms, and it is called Balsamic Honey Vinegar. It is absolutely divine, and let me tell you about it. The part that I love the most is that it starts off with that tart acidity of a regular balsamic vinegar, but it finishes sweet. You know why? Because this is made totally from honey. It's a very unique process that they use. It is fermenting honey in oak for 8 months, and then it turns into this delightful vinegar, perfect to use in salad dressings, any way you would use a balsamic vinegar, but this one is just one step above all the others because of that honey finish. It is just delightful. Okay, with our strawberries, we'll give it a little flip. The strawberries are beginning to caramelize and it's just beautiful. Those sugars start to cook a little bit, giving a little glaze to these strawberries. These are going to be so delicious with our pork. Perfect. You could do any kind of fruit. Actually, you could do kiwi would be wonderful in this. Any kind of peaches are fabulous grilled. You can even do them in a skillet, or you can take them outside and do them on the barbecue. All of them would be delightful with this pork tenderloin. So you could go through any of your summer fruits would be wonderful in this. I like the strawberries just because they're big and you can get a nice flat surface so you can really get a nice caramelization. These look great. I'm going to set these aside and they'll finish cooking. Just the residual heat in the pan will continue to caramelize them a little bit. I'm going to get the pork tenderloin out of the oven. I think it's about done now. Oh boy. Now this looks gorgeous. Look at that. And all those pretty drippings in the bottom are going to be a part of our sauce as well. So I'm just going to take the pork tenderloin off, and I want to let it rest on a cutting board so that the juices redistribute throughout when we slice it. And I've placed the cutting board in a little sheet pan just in case when we slice some juices tend to run. They're not going to run all over your counter. You've got them captured right here in a cutting board. Good little tip for any kind of meat roasting that you do. So into this pan, now we're going to start our most wonderful sauce. Turn on my burner, medium-high. And we're going to do a little process called deglazing. And I'm going to first add a little bit of chicken broth into our pan. And as I do it, I'm going to cook and stir so I can get all those yummy bits incorporated up into our sauce. Oh, great. And then I'm going to add my secret ingredient. This is balsamic honey vinegar. This vinegar is delightful. It has that acidic bite at the first, just like a balsamic vinegar, but then it finishes sweet, which is a nice honey finish to it. This is wonderful with the pork tenderloin, really enhances the sweetness and sugars in our strawberries. So in goes our vinegar. In goes a little bit of dry sherry. And then we're just going to cook and stir. Always remember to use a hot pad. When you bring that pan out of the oven, it's still quite hot. We're going to let this come to a good boil, and once that happens, the sauce is going to start reducing. This is going to concentrate those flavors down. You're really going to taste that wonderful syrupy sweetness of that vinegar, which is going to make a fantastic sauce for our pork. The sauce needs to coat a spoon. That's how we know it's thick enough. So it'll take maybe about 5 minutes to reduce. Just watch it, let it simmer on the stove. Okay, we're going to slice our pork while our sauce is reducing a little bit, getting to that syrupy consistency. And I'm going to take the pork tenderloin and we're going to slice it on the diagonal slightly. Oh, this looks lovely. About a scant half-inch thick slices. And I'm serving this today with a little saffron rice, just to give the plate nice color, and it's a really great flavor. Long grain and wild rice would be good too. These colors are just going to make an eye-popping presentation. And of course, that's good to remember, you know, you always feast first with the eye. Pork tenderloin is a very lean cut, and it's also very inexpensive, really, so it makes it a great dish for entertaining family and friends. Take our plate over here. Look at these pretty strawberries. We'll just put these on the side. I've got a beautiful, look at that pretty caramelization, those nice sugars in that strawberry. Oh my goodness, that looks so good. Once you have this, you'll be searing every fruit you own. All right, I think our sauce is ready. Oh, nice and syrupy here. So we'll take our pan. This is heavenly. Okay, over our pork. Oh, this looks beautiful. Wonderful syrup. I'm gonna give this a little garnish of chives. Now that is a gorgeous plate. I have the best, fastest, easiest dessert for you. It is a grilled pound cake with this delicious raspberry honey cream from Honey Ridge Farms, drizzled over the top, topped with a little bit of chantilly cream, which is heavy whipping cream sweetened with sugar and a little bit of vanilla extract added, and topped with fresh raspberries. Could not get any easier. I've started today with a frozen pound cake. I've sliced it about 1 inch thick, and I'm going to butter each side, just brushing with a little bit of melted butter. I have a grill really piping hot. Now this grill, you can do it on an indoor grill pan if you want, an indoor grill if you have it, or even outside on your barbecue. And this goes so quickly. So we're going to put our pound cake slices down. There we go. We're going to get a nice caramelization of our sugars on that pound cake. Just takes but a second. Oh, that looks so pretty. There we go. All right. The grilling is a really special touch, gives it a wonderful flavor. Now we're going to take our honey cream raspberry flavor. It is whipped honey with fresh fruit added. We're going to drizzle it. Oh, doesn't that look divine? We're going to drizzle this over our hot and toasty pound cake. You can use this any way you would use a kind of jam or a spread. Wonderful for desserts, great. Imagine this drizzled over a piece of French toast. You can even top a piece of cheesecake with this. Absolutely divine. I'll give it a little dollop of our chantilly, maybe an extra one just because. We'll give it some beautiful fresh raspberries, and then I'll finish with a little sprig of fresh mint. There you have it, a dessert so easy in just about 5 minutes, perfect for your family. All made possible with our raspberry honey cream.